So let's get down, finally, to the fifth way. And this one should seem very familiar to you. Let me pull this up because I'm not getting... There we go. Okay, that's good enough. All right. And we'll start out. We can see here, of course, it is the argument from design, a cosmological teleological argument. Cosmological just means it's some trying to find the something that is responsible for all of the cosmos or the cosmos. I kind of said both there together, or the cosmos or the universe, which basically all of these arguments are cosmological arguments. And then the teleological argument, it comes from the word telos or telos, T-E-L-O-S. It means telos means something like end or goal or purpose, something that we aim at. So, you can have a telos with respect to your actions. This is actually, a telos is one of the Aristotle's other four causes. So you've gotten two of them here so far. The others are material and formal. He calls this the final cause, the telos. But in any case, something that directs at another thing. And that's exactly what he says here, to work towards some goal. He's referencing that. But it's also called argument from design. Let's just jump in. He says, again, it starts off very similarly, an empirical observation. I look out into the world, this is what I see. I see that natural bodies work towards some goal and do not do so by chance. Like it's not random or luck. He also says most natural things lack knowledge. Now, natural bodies, what does this mean? It can include humans, but it can also include things like bodies like planets, right? It can include celestial bodies. It can include, an acorn. But all of these things seem to have some goal or purpose or end to which it is working, and they don't do that by chance. Now, he's interested not in natural bodies that have minds. He wants to think about the ones that don't have minds. Like, he's not interested in humans. He's interested in those things like acorns turning into oaks, celestial bodies that go into orbit and stuff like that, right? Because he's going to now limit natural bodies to just those things that don't have minds, those things that lack knowledge, okay? Now, that's his next step. Most natural things lack knowledge. They don't have minds. Now, third step, he says, but let me actually, never mind. Okay. He says, but as an arrow reaches its target, let me pull this in here so you can actually see it. Yeah, okay, that's better. But as an arrow reaches its target because it's directed by an archer, what lacks intelligence achieves its goals by being directed by something intelligent. Okay, he's just given an analogy here. It's argument by analogy as well. Therefore, some intelligent being exists by whom all natural things are directed toward their end, and this being we call God. Now, he's talking about an intelligent designer here. He says that there has to be something that exists that because these celestial bodies work, because these planets orbit, as there's the Earth that always orbits around the sun. And you might say, oh gosh, I know what's responsible for that. That's laws of physics. That's what's responsible for that. That's probably, if you're like resistant to this information, that's probably exactly what you're thinking. God doesn't hold the Earth in orbit. He holds it's laws of physics that make planets orbit their stars. Let's unpack that. Actually, is it really laws of physics? And you're going to be surprised. What is a law, first of all? Like, let's just think about laws just like on law books, for example, first of all. And you'll find that laws don't actually do anything. Laws, let's say the law for speeding. The law for speeding does not make me slow down. It does not, let's say, it does not cause me to slow down. It has no agential power, in other words. It doesn't cause things. Laws don't cause things. In fact, what is the law itself for speeding? Well, let's start with this. What causes me to slow down is my foot on the gas, or me seeing a warning sign, that says speed limit, or me seeing headlights or flashing, cop car, lights in my rearview mirror, especially. That makes me slow down. It was a little too late to do that, but that's what makes me slow down, or my reaction to what I'm seeing makes me slow down. That causes me. But the law, what is the law? The law is written in some capital state capitol or somewhere, and it's written down in a book somewhere, and that law is not making me do anything. In fact, that's what all laws are. They're just written things. And so the law, let's say for law for gravity, it's something like, I don't know, what is the law for gravity? Law of gravity equation. I think it's something like 9.8 seconds or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, something like the velocity of gravity. But that law, whatever that equation might be, that doesn't make the planet stay in orbit, because the law of gravity is not the force of gravity. Those are different things. The law of gravity is something that is just a description of what is already happening. Right? Just like, so I mean, it was discovered by us, right? But it's not like the force of gravity begins to exist once the law of gravity starts to exist. No, that's the force of gravity already was there. And so, okay, well, let's talk about the force of gravity. Law of gravity, laws of physics don't do anything. Let's talk about the force of gravity. The force of gravity makes the planets stay in their orbits. Sure. Okay, I'm down with that. But they also keep them regular. There's certain regularity. There's certain uniformity and everything. And that's suspiciously uniform and regular when the universe is quite chaotic. And I'm just curious as to how it's so regular and uniform. Like, how did that force come about? Like, that's a genuine question. How did the force of gravity come about? Did it just pop into existence? Like, and that now humans can understand it? Like, that's very strange, right? So, yeah, I'm okay with you saying that the force of gravity holds the planets in orbit. That doesn't explain. Now we can back up the question further. We can't explain why the force of gravity is so uniform and regular. So, all right. Now it is time to get into the chat room. You might need a timeout, Ace Trades, already with your insults here. But let's go back to the top here. And I know you're going to now jump in there and say, oh, I'm not insulting. But it's funny because YouTube people, especially when you're anonymous, you can say whatever the heck you want, without any repercussions. And it's just really funny. You would never say this in person to me. And maybe you would. Yeah, the thing is, I'm not talking science. I'm talking philosophy of science. It's a very big, different thing. And if you look at the first chapter of my dissertation, actually do a lot of philosophy and science in there. So go have fun reading. So mostly about theory replacement, if you're interested.